Hey everyone, Canadagraphs here. Just want to say the first few minutes there's a lot of background noise. Apologies, it was outdoors. Hello everyone, it is Canadagraphs here at another film set in Vancouver. Obviously, you can see that you can't see. They have put up a 10-foot scrim around the Vancouver Art Gallery. And the reason for that does make a little sense, and I'll get to that in a moment. But first, what is it they're filming here today that is so private? Well, I can tell you it's being directed by Aaron Sorkin, and I can tell you that its working title is Goliath. Now, that might not mean much to you, but if I tell you that the working title Goliath is the code name for the social reckoning, maybe a few more of you understand what I'm talking about. If you still don't know what that means, the social reckoning is the follow-up to the Social Network with Jessie Eiseberg as Mark Zuckerberg. They've recast him, by the way. I don't know what scheduling issue there was, but he could not fill in. So they've got a new guy to play Zuck. But today's scene, from what I could tell, I had a view that is not this. I shot from another floor. This scene I don't think has any of the main cast in it. What they are shooting here today, I kind of understand now why the privacy is not so much necessarily, I mean it could be that too, but I don't think it's so much necessarily to keep the looky-loos out. I think it is to not have angry citizens potentially protesting what they're seeing. Because what they're shooting, from what I could tell, feels like the January 6th, 2020 situation. Or was that 2021? The election was in 2020. 2021. You know what I'm talking about, obviously. A little issue that happened in Washington, D.C. They are filming that. There was some flags in the crowd that were not American, let's say. There was somebody holding up a large letter in the alphabet that is somewhere after P and before R. Yeah, so that's what they're filming in there, and that kind of, I understand maybe a little bit having a barrier up for that, because I think some people would see that and maybe take offense to it, even if they do realize it's part of a movie set. So yeah, that's today's report from Vancouver. If you're in the area and you're thinking, hey, I might go down and check out that set, don't, because unless you have access to one of the buildings around here, you're going to see 0% of it. The screen is slightly see-through up close, but you'll have a real hard time making anything out. I already did all the work for you, and I can tell you it's a waste of your time. That's it from here. I didn't think I'd ever get to Washington, D.C., but I guess I did. Yeah. I'll let you know when more happens on this set. Bye. So, spoiler alert, more happened on the set. As you can see here, I found a view from a store across the street. You can see some of the flags being waved there are in lieu of stuff that you would have seen during January 6th, 2021. You can see some specifically mention stopping the steal. You can see a Q there. There was a lot of USA flags, obviously, but there was a mixture of other flags. The one thing I did not notice in the crowd at all was I never saw a single Trump flag, like a flag with his name on it, which I wonder if there's like a technical reason for that, if there was some legal thing the studio wouldn't let them go on with that for. But yeah, pretty much every other flag you could imagine that would have been at one of those Klan rallies was there. Here's the clapperboard from the second day. So the next stuff you'll see is from the second day. Here they were doing a march up the street. You can just see piles of hooded, masked individuals walking together up the street. You notice they're not carrying any of the flags too. I noticed they were very careful about showing stuff like that around. Like you saw the huge scrim up around the place, and when they did these march scenes on the street, they had people like dressed in capes and that you can see there, or dressed in flags, sorry. But you notice none of them were carrying the flags. I think they understood that even if it's for a movie scene, doing that might trigger some people in the general public. A lot of people might understand it's a movie, but then there'll be some people that won't understand it's a movie, and even some of the people that do understand it's a movie may be pretty offended by it. So they didn't do things like, you know, showing people using the flags in public, or inside the compound. They had the gates all gated off so you couldn't see it. So they were pretty private about that. Here's more scenes of them storming up the stairs with their flags and stuff. You can see a lot of background smoke. It was added to give the chaotic look to it. This was mostly all they filmed on the second day, outside of that one walking scene on the street, is they just did a lot of takes of storming the staircase. You can see people holding sticks, 2x4 there, you know, a variety of makeshift type weapons, right? So yeah, you can see the big Q there in the middle. You can see to the right, there's a Stop the Steal flag, along with a different flag that the Dukes of Hazzard fans maybe know. But that's it. That's all there is for this video. Hopefully I will have some more in the near future. They have just started production. This is only week 2 right now. That was week 1. In fact, that first clip you saw was day 1 of filming. So they're very early in the production. Hopefully I'll have more. Yeah, until then, that's it for this video. Thanks, and I will see you in the next one. Alright, bye.